Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry I'm late. Technical difficulties. Let me just do an audio check, make sure I can hear myself. And then we're going to jump right into this thing. I appreciate all of y'all for. All right, audio check is clear. I'm going to let some folks come in. See if we can get some folks in here. It has been a long time since I have done a live educational session. And again, I've just been working and grinding and doing what I need to do to be successful, just like I hope all of you guys are doing. But as we are getting near 2021, I want to start back doing this. I enjoy doing it, but it has to be on my terms. And I think all of you that are running your car lots understand that. But anyway, welcome, 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 everybody. Thank y'all for joining me tonight for this live educational session. I hope it's going to be a good one. I hope it's something that you can take away information and be able to implement it. You know, that's my goal for my YouTube channel, is to give you guys the information to be powerful, resourceful, and feel knowledgeable that you know what you learned. You know what I mean? To be able to implement it. So today's topic is going to be about how to do outside financing and how to get set up with an outside financing lender. What are those steps? What do you need to do? I know for some of you guys that have been on subscriber to the channel for a long time, you know that I started doing my car lot with buy here, pay here only, and cash, right? So cash and then buy here, pay here only. Well, 2020 happened and the pandemic happened, and it pushed me outside of that comfort zone, of that safety net of just only doing buy here, pay here. So I had to expand and I had to do something different to be able to continue to do the car business, because at one point it had got really, really tough, and it is still really, really tough to find cars that qualify for a buy here, pay here product. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm gonna throw my glasses on. I'm gonna be taking these on and off. I'm gonna be probably looking in this direction a little bit because that's what the monitor is. So if you guys see me looking away, that's what I'm doing. So let's go to the comments before we jump in. We got one very interested in this topic. Awesome, man. Well, buckle your seat belt, get your pen and paper, because we about to jump right into it. All right, Ricardo Wheeler says, hey, how you doing, Ricardo? Thank you for joining me this evening for this educational session. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So as I said, that's going to be the topic. That's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks, and hopefully you'll be able to implement this in your car lot. So number one, understand that outside financing is an asset, not a liability. A lot of dealers want you to believe that outside financing is a liability and you should never do it. Well, you have to look at that person's company, and you have to look at that person's reputation and their bank account, right? When you get information from anybody, that's the best way to do it. If they're not being profitable and successful in what they're doing, I would caution you listening to them. But nonetheless, understand that doing outside financing deals is an asset, because it gives you that leverage to be able to now sell cars in this way. Whereas when you don't have an outside financing company set up, you're only subjected to cash or buy here, pay here financing, where you finance them yourself. So when you're going into courting lenders to get them set up to do business with you, and you do business with them, understand that they are an asset, and you need to understand what you're getting from them. Not only just the accessibility to be able to run deals their way, but what should you expect, expectations and things like that. But just the first thought that I want you to take away in the beginning of this conversation is that understand that the lender that you're going to court and hopefully do business with, is going to be an asset to you. Because those deals that you could not do in cash, people may not have 10,000, 15,000, 6,000, whatever the amount of money your cars are priced at. It gives you that ability to tap into that consumer that may have decent credit or stability on income, and things like that. Okay, so number one, your lender is an asset to you, not a liability. Let's talk about the liability piece. So a lot of times people will tell you, hey man, when you get with a lender, they can unwind the deals. They can go back and say, well, I don't want to approve them anymore. And for that reason, they are now an enemy. That happens very few and far if you do what you're supposed to do as the dealer. That is the key. And a lot of times, the dealers who are telling you those stories will not admit that some of the things that they did contributed to that deal being taken back and recoursed or unwind or whatever the terminology you want to use. But basically that the lender said, hey, we're not going to fund this deal. It's a bad deal. We're going to send it back to you. If they've sent you money, they're going to want their money back. But if they haven't sent you money, then you're not going to get any, and your car is now gone. But we're going to talk about that as we get through today's conversation. Number two, invest the time to research lenders that fit your cars and your potential customers. That is the biggest thing I think a lot of used car dealers go wrong when they start to bring in lenders. They don't take the time to understand what makes that lender a good fit for your dealership or car lot, right? We'll talk in different scales because most of you guys that are watching this content are probably where I am, which is a relatively small car lot. I mean, I'm a small car lot, and so. Nonetheless, understand that researching those lenders are important so you can understand who's going to be a better fit for your car lot and who's going to give you the best type of relationship. And relationship is a key word because you are going to be in a relationship with this company. Their success relies on you, and if you only do outside financing, then their success of funding your deals gives you your success, right? Did I say that right? Basically, you are relying on them and they are relying on you. And the only difference is when you are only doing outside financing, which I would not suggest that you do, outside financing should be a contribution to your car lot, not a sole type of medium or source, right? You want to bring in outside financing to complement your cash sales or your buy here, pay here, things like that. You don't want to, I'm not going to say you don't want to, because there's a lot of car lots that do, but I think that you're dealing with a different price point, a different size of car lot if all you're doing is outside financing, right? Because then you're starting to get into maybe, new cars or almost having a new car store with a pre-owned section. If you're doing all, strictly 99% of your business or 95% of your business is outside finance, then you may be at a bigger scale to where that makes sense. But for people like me that are smaller used car lots, we want to keep our options open. We don't want to just say we're only going to do outside financing because obviously that would be just dumb. If somebody come on your lot with cash, sell the dang on vehicle, right? Number three, buying the right inventory. This is probably the very most important thing that you need to do when you're working with an outside lender. Because if you don't buy the right vehicles, either your lenders aren't going to fund the deals, or the funding terms are going to be so deplorable that it just doesn't make sense for you. We're going to get into, as we get along in this conversation, kind of what it looks like to work with the outside financing company. I'm going to tell you who I'm working with and all that. So you guys stick with me. But buying the right inventory is key. The transition that it takes, depending on where you are, right? So if you're watching this video and you are a brand new dealer, or you have not opened your car lot yet, right? You are on the cuffs of opening it. Your mindset of the type of vehicles that you need to buy may be different from what your lender is wanting to lend against, because the car is the collateral. So if I lend $15,000 on a piece of collateral, I want to make sure that the collateral is worth $15,000, number one, and then number two, that the customer sees that worth, right? Because if the customer sees the worth of the collateral, then they're more inclined to pay for the collateral, which the lender will be happy that they're paying for the collateral, which they will love to write your deals. Okay. It is a game in a sense because the lenders are learning what your company stands for and who you are and what type of assets that you put out on the street. And then you are looking at that lender to see how much money, how many deals will they fund? How easy will it be to get people approved to them? So both of you guys are basically trying to see or get the best out of each other, right? And so it takes this step, number 3, buying the right inventory to make sure that gel together, okay? If you don't buy the right inventory, your lenders aren't going to write your deals. You're not going to get people approved on those particular vehicles. And then you're going to say, well, the hell with outside finance. And I can't get people approved. What is it? What good is it to have them, right? So just understand that buying the right inventory. Now, here's how you buy the right inventory. Number 1, you when you're getting in a relationship with the lender, you want to understand, what type of vehicles will you finance? Do you have mileage restrictions? This is the key. Write this down. Do you have a mileage restriction? Do you have an age restriction? Okay. Do you or will you lend against vehicles that have previous structural damage, right? 9 times out of 10, they will not. But you would need to know that, i.e. those announcements that you hear at the auctions, structural damage. A lot of lenders will not lend money against those particular vehicles. 90% of lenders won't. So you need to understand that. And then you need to make sure that you have a proper valuation tool to make sure that you're buying the vehicles, not only the right vehicles, but you're buying it at the right price. Okay. Each and every one of you, if you're watching this video today or this live, because we're live right now, I'm going to get to the comments after this section here. So go ahead and put in your comments now while we went through 3 steps so far. So that way I don't get so far ahead. But if you are watching this, you're at a point to where you're thinking about, bringing in a lender. You want to, try to get into that world. You need to definitely have Black Book or some type of book valuation to where you can know what your wholesale values are on your rough, your average, your clean, your extra clean. And then you need to be able to see those numbers, same thing on retail. So your retail, rough, average, clean, very clean. And then you also need to understand how much to value will your lender lend. Some lenders will go up to 115% of the clean value of the vehicle. So let's just role play that for an example. If the car is clean value $5,000, that's the value, right? That's the book value, $5,000 for that car. If it's in clean condition with the miles intact, right? And your lender says, well, okay, I'll lend up to 125% of that value. That basically means that lender will now lend you could sell that car at a max price of $6,250. Okay, that is the loan to value. Okay, so every company has different metrics, some 125, some 110, 115. And that's just to complement different type of vehicles because every car is uniquely different. No car is the same. So if someone took really good care of a car, you got all service records, then that car, that lender will lend a little bit more money on that particular vehicle. So, all right, let's go to the comments. Let's see. I don't think I have many. And I'm looking like an old man putting my glasses on. I know. All right. We got one from Gene Marcos 59 saying, thank you. Thanks for your time. Very appreciated. Awesome. Well, I thank you for thanking me for my time. It is so true that, it requires time to do this. Do anybody else have any questions before we move along? Let's put any questions. Do you have anything on the first 3 steps? So understanding outside financing as an asset. Do you have any questions as to how that could be? Investing the time to research lenders. Do you have a question on how should you research a lender? I think that is a good question. Let's answer that. So let's go back to number 2 because I didn't give you how you should research your lenders. So every state no matter where you're watching this from, if you are a used car dealer, every state has a used car or an independent dealer association. Okay, Independent Dealers Association, and at those associations, they have, most of them, 9 out of 10, will have resources on their website. And some of those resources would entail, floor plan companies, finance companies. So that is where you will go on that directory to see those finance companies that are approved or that are licensed to do business in your state. The finance company must be licensed in your state. And this is kind of getting ahead because I want to kind of tell you some tips, and then I'm going to show you how to actually do it. But that is key for this step. So that's how you actually research the lenders. You will go to your independent dealer association, and then you will find a link to where you see your resources, and then they'll have a list of finance companies there. If you are a customer with Wayne Reeves Dealer Management Software, Wayne Reeves DMS, on their site, they have a lenders page where they will tell you all the lenders that are affiliated with them, not necessarily affiliated, but I guess paid to be on their page. And it will tell you which state they're licensed in and all of that. Okay. Then we got one comment here. All right. I'm putting my glasses back on again. How do you get set up with good lenders? Not subprime lenders. The big banks, even if you are a small independent dealer. All right. We're going to get to that question. The short answer of that, Willz, is going to be difficult as a small independent dealer to get with a big lender like Capital One Auto Finance or Ally or the big Santander and all of that. It's really hard, and Santander's actually subprime. Unless you have at least, I would say, about 100 to 125 cars in your inventory, a lot of them won't touch it because you don't have enough inventory for it to make sense for them to vet you and to go through that whole rigmarole of actually seeing who you are. So the chances that you're going to get with a bigger bank right off the top without having any prior experience with a smaller bank first, I would say is probably very, very slim, unless you have a very good contact to where you can speak with someone hands-on. But again, the biggest thing you're going to need is inventory. And if you're small, you may not have amount of inventory for them. Ally requires, for example, they require a actual service center on site. And the reason they require that is to see how much are you investing in the mechanics of these vehicles that we are lending money for. So that, subliminally, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for strength in mechanics and having an infrastructure at the dealership level to be able to make sure that the cars that you're putting out are sound mechanically. All right, so let's go ahead and move right along. We covered that one. All right, number 4, what can you expect when working with an outside lender? So here's some expectations that you should have, realistic expectations. Number 1, they are going to require you to sign up and go through a process. Okay, so and the process will include a credit check. 9 out of 10 of the times, they will check the dealer owner's credit. I don't necessarily think that they're looking for an exact score, but what they want to see is, do you have any type of tax liens? Do you have any type of debt to where you were signed up as a guarantor for your business that had to be filed against you as a guarantor because you did not honor your obligations? So they're looking for things like that. They're looking for pretty much telltale signs that you're going to be trouble 9 out of the 10 times. But you will have to go through a process. Some of the process will be lengthy. So just be prepared to go through that process and let it play out. Also, you can expect them having their own way of doing their business. Okay. I think that this is where a lot of dealers get really caught up in the emotion aspect of it is I'm a dealer. Why are you asking me for this information? And I'm helping you, and I'm getting customers to you for you to have notes and all of this, and all of that stuff gets in your head, and it makes for a very difficult start if you come in with that demeanor. Okay, so just be willing to go through the process. Okay, be willing to go through the process. So, yeah, you can expect to do an application. You can expect to have a process to where they vet you and make sure you are who you are. They will come out to your dealership, take pictures. They'll make sure, you know, you are who you are. And these are lenders that are smaller lenders, okay? The bigger lenders, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I have not successfully set up with any of them. So I don't know what their process entails, the bigger ones. But the smaller ones, those are some of the things that you can expect. Okay, 20 minutes in, these typically last about 30 minutes, these educational sessions, and they're designed to show you that I know what the heck I'm talking about, to get you to become a mentee. All right, let's transition over here to this real quick. We're going to go to the next step next. I am looking for my very first mentee with the mentorship program. All of y'all that are here, you can visit grindreloaded.com to sign up. Now, I'm only taking one person for free. When you go to the site, you're going to see the fees. You're going to see what it normally costs to be a mentor with me and the process and all that stuff. But I want one person, particularly in the Southeast, to where I can be your mentor. And I need you to already be established or ready to go, one or the other. And I'm going to do it absolutely free so that I can show people here on YouTube that I can make an impact in your business. Okay. I got to have that happen in order for me to do it, apparently, because, you know, that's just how it goes. All right. So we got that out the way. Number 5, be willing to adapt, which segue right into what I was just saying. Be willing to go through the process. If you have been a used car dealer for a length of time, it's going to feel like you're starting all over. I'm going to tell you that right now. When I set up with my company that I am with, which I'm going to tell you who it is in a second, I'm going to give you my raw, candid take on them. But when I started the process, I thought I was starting all over again. Obviously, when I started doing this, it was in the pandemic, right? And so I was used to writing my own loans and going through that process. But I had to pretty much adapt to their way of doing business if I wanted the relationship to work. And so that's basically what I'm telling you guys, is to be willing to adapt and know that change is good. This change is going to be good because you're bringing in another source of income for your dealership. And it's something that until you do it, until you go through it, you don't know what to expect. But once you get on the other side of it and you see those deals, right, you know, you see those deals coming in and you see your money, you know, stacking up pretty much, it's very, very, very worth the adaptation. I guess that's the right way to say it. Number 6, this is probably the second after buying the right inventory. This is probably the second most important thing, if not really the first. But now we're getting into working with a finance company. How does it feel to work with them and what you can expect? So every lender has stipulations. And what stipulations is essentially, we will fund this deal if we get X. Okay. Stipulations. I'm going to give you some examples of some stipulations. So proof of income is a stipulation. It's a normal stipulation. You have to have proof of income, driver's license, proof of insurance, proof of title transfer, and anything else that they come up with. Okay. Other stipulations could be something like their check stubs looks weird. Can I get a bank statement? Right. All of those are things that pretty much the lender can ask from you, from the borrower. Okay. When someone is pre-qualified or pre-approved, you will always get a list of stipulations that need to be cleared in order for that lender to send you your money. Okay. Always clear every single stipulation before a buyer leaves your car lot with your car. Because once that buyer is gone, you have no more ammunition. Okay, it goes away. Because when a person has the car, to hell with what you're saying, as far as coming back and clearing this or clearing that, that's out of sight, out of mind, because they got the car and they gone. Okay. To them, they have bought a vehicle, which if you do it the way it's supposed to be done, which is clearing the stipulations to make sure that nothing else can come back up, at least not in the imminent future. Because essentially what happens is, let me give you an example. You have a buyer, they go to your website, they apply, okay? They apply. Depending on your lender, you may have to actually get them to come in if they don't do it themselves directly to the lender site, okay? So let's just say hypothetically they went directly to the lender's site, put in their application, okay? They put in their application, they applied, you saw it, you gave them a call and said, hey, just want to confirm that you did an application and you are who you say you are. How much money are you working with down? When are you looking to get this accomplished? Are you looking to come in today to go ahead and wrap this process up, right? That's what my team does. We solidify expectations before we do anything with their application, okay? Once we've gotten an explanation or expectation on what their desires are and what they're going to do, we push that application forward. We send it over for the lender to actually look at it and pull the credit. So they pull the credit comes back, tell us what the credit is, and then it matches them in a way. It shows your inventory and it shows what they can and cannot buy, basically. Once it does that, in most cases, I'm trying to talk from a broad standpoint of what you should expect, but I'm only talking really from my experience. But that's typically how it works. You build an expectation, you confirm it, pull the application. The lender says, yes, we will approve them if we get X. So then you get the list of stipulations that the lender needs to see before they will issue a final approval and fund your deal. So they're going to say, we need their ID, we need their pay stubs, we need their bank statements if they're saying they have a bank account. We need proof of residence and we need proof of insurance. Okay, so it's 5 stipulations. And then we're going to need proof of title transfer. That's something that you're going to do via the title application. But you have to make sure you have those 5 things from the borrower. You get those 5 things from the borrower, then you scan it up to the lender. The lender underwriting team pulls it up, looks at it. They make sure the income calculates out correctly. You should do that before you send it over, right? You should know how to calculate income. And the lender will come back and say, those stipulations have now been cleared. Once they say that, you're good to go. If they do not say that deal, those stipulations have been cleared, guess what? At any point, what you sent over could be denied, okay? So if you sent over a pay stub, so let's role play this. You did that, you sent it up. We're gonna say we sent all of the information up. 3 out of the 5 stipulations got cleared. So now we just got 2. We just got 2 open. All right, we'll just say it's income. We're not, we're just gonna say it's proof of income. We're thinking in our mind, hey, we sent the check stubs up. You're fine. Looks good. Yeah, everything checks out. You say, okay, here's your keys. Congratulations, you just bought your car. They get on down the road. The lender comes back and deny the check stubs. For some reason, they may say the company don't exist or something like that. Now you have let that buyer leave with that car. In their mind, they think that it's their car. They're done. So now you have to have that conversation of, hey, I need you to come back by. Now you got to try to manipulate them to get back to the lot, because some people, if you tell them, hey, your deal was rejected and you're no longer approved, you may as well go ahead and send a repo team, because they're not going to come back. Some people, okay? Other people will be responsible and turn around and come back. All right. But the moral of that story is you have to clear every stipulation before you let a borrower leave with your car. If you don't, hell, you're up to you have to now get your car back, and the lender isn't going to do anything with that buyer. So if they don't have cash, obviously you have a dead deal because they don't have cash. So yeah, so now you got to get the car back. Now the car may have more miles on it. We don't know if the buyer, damaged the car or whatever. So that is why every stipulation needs to be clear before that car leaves. Now I don't give a care if that is if it's like 6 o'clock and it's closing time. You better tell that buyer, hey, we couldn't get it done tonight. You're gonna have to come back in the morning and pick up your car. I mean, that's just a matter of fact. You need to prep them and let them know kind of what the process is. I'm gonna send it up, wait for them to get it approved. It should, normally we get it hit back in 15-20 minutes. Like normally for my lender, 5-10 minutes and it's done like that. But you have to make sure you get these stipulations cleared. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go to the comments. All right, Gene Marco 59 says, I'm planning to start the business like small independent dealer where I can get information about the financing companies. So I mentioned that earlier in the video. You can do that by going to your independent dealer association. Most states have one. If you are in Georgia, definitely. Alabama, yes. But most states around the United States will have an independent dealer association. Go there to their website, look at the resource tab, and it should have a list of finance companies that are signed up as vendors to that independent dealer associations. So that is the first place you should look. The second place you can look is just you can do a neighboring state, right? So if you can't find your independent dealer association in your state, you can do a neighboring state. And every lender will tell you which state they are licensed to lend in. Okay, they have to be licensed in your state. So that's pretty much where you'll go. I don't want to keep dragging it out. All right, Buddha says, "What's up, man? Long time see." Yeah, man, it's been a long time. I ain't been on YouTube in a long time. All right, who is your lender? KPW says, "Let's get into it. Let's get into it." It's like, hey, man, come on, man, come on. All right, so my 2-month opinion on credit acceptance as my lender. I've been using credit acceptance now for 2 months, just about 2 months. I think it's about 50-something days. And credit acceptance has been very, very good for my company. It's been very good for the customers. We've been able to, I think we've done about 6 deals through them in the 55 days. And so it's been very, very smooth. So the process that I was explaining to you where the applicant goes to the website and submit their application directly into the lender, that was credit acceptance. The stipulations on credit acceptance is very, very, very easy to clear. I'm not sure if credit acceptance works with broker dealers. So let's talk about that. And then I'm gonna tell you about my opinion more in depth. If you are a broker dealer, it may be a little bit difficult for you to get outside financing because you don't have a dedicated car lot. Now you can find them; they're out there. You just have to do a little bit more work. Any lender that you're courting, if you are a broker, I shouldn't say broker dealer because there's no such thing. If you do not have a car lot and you are a dealer and you have just an office space, you may have to do a little bit more research and make sure that they understand that you only have a broker suite and not a actual car lot because you don't want to waste your time. Okay, but let's talk about my opinion on 2 months. So I've done 6 deals with credit acceptance since we started. We started pretty much November 10th. So actually, it's not even really 55 days, I don't think. We did 6 deals. All 6 deals have fully funded. We have one that is very difficult right now because my manager did not clear all the stipulations. And that is why I'm telling you to clear the damn stips, okay? But it was very easy to get started with them. They will send out a market manager. And that market manager, they do have a process, and their process is their process. Either you go through it and deal with them, or you don't, and they move on. But I think we had 2 appointments at my car lot where we talked about their process, their procedures, their splits, and all of that. I'm not gonna get in depth with the finance piece of it all, as far as how much money we're getting per deal and all that. If you become a mentor client, then obviously you'll get that information, and I'll hold your hand on accepting certain things like that. But we have not had any recourse deals. All of our deals that were fully stipped we had it funded same day. That's my rule for my lot, is all stips are cleared same day. And then the same day we get our funding email that says, hey, your deal has funded. The very next day, the money is in the bank. So it is very, very, very good experience that I've had with credit acceptance. We've had, my God, I think we've done about, so let's talk about that. I think we've probably processed over 75 applications, and we've been only able to do, and now this is some numbers. We've processed about 75 applications, and we've only been able to write 6 contracts. And what that tells you is that with credit acceptance, their down payments are higher than I thought that they would be. Okay. I'm in the process of courting other lenders currently right now to stack up against credit acceptance. Originally, I needed to go with a company that was very easy to work with, that had an online portal. So with credit acceptance, you have your own dealer portal. Literally, you play with your own numbers. I mean, it is very, very, very easy to deal with them. And I'm kind of reluctant to. Not necessarily reluctant, but I'm anxious about the next lender because I don't know if their process will be as smooth as credit acceptance process is. And I mean, but nonetheless, we've done over 70 applications and only been able to write 6 contracts. So the down payments are a little bit larger than I expected because credit acceptance have what they call a dealer rating. And with their dealer rating, everybody comes in new at like I think it's a 4 or something like that, which is damn near worse. I think the worst number is 5, and then it goes down to 1 or 0 or something like that. So you have to prove yourself as a company. And so with your dealer rating being lower, the type of deals that they will write for your car lot is not as aggressive as it would be once you do more and more and more deals. I'm not sure if that's the same with every lender, but again, that's something that you want to ask. Hey, do you guys have some type of dealer rating system? But I would rather take a dealer rating system than a high recourse. Credit acceptance, literally, their rule is to not have any recourse. The only way they could have a dealer recourse is if it's something that you did not turn in, they will not fund. So the stipulations, if you don't clear the steps, they're not going to fund the deal. If you clear the steps, they will fund the deal, and you will never hear from them again about that particular deal. But you do want to sell cars of quality. And obviously, the dealer rating will help you try to maintain that, because if you sell cars that are not mechanically inclined, they're not going to run. And if the buyers don't pay the notes, your dealer rating will remain low. Or, I mean, I guess if you do too many bad ones, they'll stop writing deals for you or something. I don't know. Remember that we're still in the used car business, which means I still don't give warranties. Now, with credit acceptance, we're able to sell VSC, vehicle service contracts. We're able to sell guaranteed assurance policy, basically GAP. So we're able to sell those products now. We also had to institute a new form, a optional service decline form. So if they decline the service, if they decline GAP, if they decline VSC and the damn car breakdown tomorrow, hey, we sold all our cars as is, still as is. We're not changing that. The only thing we're doing is just, getting the bank to fund them and write the deal. All right, I'm going to go to the questions now, and we're going to wrap this bad boy up. So I covered that. Ricardo Wheeler says that what want to do. Okay. Ooh, let me put my glasses on. Just have office space and sell cars to start off, but I'm interested in the mentorship. Awesome, Ricardo. Sounds good. What state are you in, Ricardo? I think I saw your comment. Tell me what state you're in. And while we wait on Ricardo to pop that in there, just remember the live sessions will happen each Monday at 8:15 Eastern Time. Moving forward, okay, so I'm gonna try to stay on schedule with this. I'm gonna try to do every week, and then if it just becomes too much, I'll do every other week. But again, this is to show you and to build my worth, I guess, to y'all. I would like to. I'm in Texas. Okay, all right, Gene. I like Texas, man. I got my Camaro out of Dallas. Okay. Ricardo Wheeler said he's in Georgia. Awesome. That works, Ricardo. I believe, did you go? So you and Gene, make sure you visit. Let's do this. Put the website up here again. And you just go there and hit the sign up. You're not paying for anything. It's not going to ask you to pay for anything. Only thing you're doing is just sending me your contact information. So just go to grindreloaded.com. And click on the sign up tab up. I think it's up top or somewhere. Let me do this. I can do this. Hold on. I can show you. All right, let me share this right quick so I can show y'all. All right. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you can see here, become a mentee today. So only thing you're gonna do is just click on sign up. Once you click on sign up, just fill this out and submit it to me, and that'll give me your information. Okay, so I can call you on the phone, and we can talk a little bit more, and I can, get an opportunity to know who you are and all that stuff. And we'll get to it, man. I'm excited about 2021. I think the last video, the last live, we talked about goal planning and goal setting. I want each and every one of you to start thinking about that right now. Or really, you should have already thought about it the 1st of December. Write out your vision. What do you want to accomplish, okay? Write out the vision so you can execute the vision, all right? That's simple, not hard. Excuse me, sorry about that. What's the criteria for the cars? Depend on your lender. You need to get with your lender to figure out what they will write on and all of that stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for tuning in with me. I'm Raymond, the car mentor here at Grind Reloaded. Thank y'all again for tuning in and rocking it out with me. I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. I'll see you next week, 8:15 Eastern Time. Moving forward, and be sure to visit grindreloaded.com to get in contact with me, and we'll go from there. Thank y'all. Have a good night. Be well. Sell some damn cars, and go and find your lender. Let me know how it goes. Drop in a comment. Let me know people that goes and do that. Let me know how it goes for you. And if I can be of assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.